I thought you were like starting. I thought you were gonna do something.
Hey there. Hey there, couch critics. It's the boys back at it again. Episode 2. So, Kubo and the Two Strings, suggested by Jerry. Okay, this was his film. This was his pet project. Well, we have a much more improved setup after all the funding from episode 1 came in.
We got funding?
Thousands of dollars. Brand name Target blankets are funding us. Let's just say bouquets. Bouquets are funding us. So much better setup, 4K quality. We have our own Jamie equivalent.
Hello. You can't see him. But
very similar to Joe Rogan podcast. If we ever need anything pulled up, Jamie would do it for us. Anyways, let's just get into it because, very limited time schedule for some of us. You guys know the format. We say the movie, give a brief rundown beforehand of all that's about, go through the whole plot, give our scores, argue, debate, bully Jerry for having a horrible movie, and then we announce the next movie. So let's hit right into it. Jerry, what's your opening statements about, what was your backstory for loving this movie so much?
You gotta understand, okay? This movie came out 2016, okay? You know how old I was in 2016?
9.
9 years old.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I was 9 years old. You go into this movie theater, okay? The first scene, okay? There's this woman, okay? No, hear me out. There's this woman. She's on a raft, okay? And she has magical powers. All she does is strum her little instrument. Forgot the name of the instrument, by the way. We'll pull it up.
Jamie, pull that up.
We have an instrument, right? Strums it. A whole wave disappears.
Instrument?
Shamisen or something?
Oh, yeah.
Shamisen, or don't cancel me. But it's there, right? Pulls it, and it's such a beautiful film. Okay, the color grading in the movie, all the characters, the symbolism. I just thought, as 9-year-old me, I thought this was such an amazing film. I still do. I don't understand what they're thinking about this movie. But
he doesn't even know what we think about
it. I gave him hints.
Yeah, he gave me a little hint.
So, big color fan over here.
Oh, yeah.
You can clearly tell that opinion of it being one of the best movies is by a 9-year-old. If you'd like to, can you pull up one of the reviews? It's by The Guardian. Jamie, please. Just search up Control F Guardian.
Just know, 93% of people loved the storyline. They're of the 7% that don't like this film.
Okay, now let's have him read off the Guardian review. Okay, this killed me.
Jordan Hoffman of The Guardian was more critical of the film, giving it a 2 out of 5 stars and saying that older kids, except for a few teachers' pets, will soon realize that this is hardly a fun action-adventure cartoon at all, but a plate of vegetables.
Jamie, if you want to pull up a review by a more reputable site, search up EBERT space Kubo and the Two Strings.
I don't understand the slander, okay? 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, 4 out of 5 on Common Sense, and a 7.7 on Prime Video. I'm not understanding the hate on this film.
We'll get into the hate on the film. So this is the first time seeing it for me and Nathan. If you'd like to bring up the review, do you have it?
It's a longer one, but
you don't need to say the whole thing.
There's
just the rating.
Strong words being used in this movie.
The rating from a reputable source.
3.5 out of 4 stars.
Yes.
Well, what's the out of 4-star thing? I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know why he uses 4 stars.
So, that site is dedicated to, not really dedicated to, back in the 70s, 80s, I don't really know when they were really doing this, but the 2 most prolific movie critics in America were Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel. They worked for the Chicago Sun-Times and another Chicago newspaper, respectively. They popularized the 4-star system, so most movie most movie critic like things nowadays do 4 stars because of how famous they were. And so that site is, all of his reviews are posted on there, but after his death, I think in 2012, his like critique students picked up the job for him.
This one goes out to you.
The critic students.
Yes.
The more you know. I learn something new every single time we have a podcast.
I know you always like have an infinite wealth of information.
I know.
Anyways, this was the first time seeing it for 2 of us. 8 trillionth time for Jerry. It was the same studio as Coraline, Box Trolls, bunch of other stop motion animation.
Yeah.
Paranorman, all those. Now, for me, the like only memory I had before watching this relating to it was I was watching like Peabody and Sherman or the live action Jungle Book in theaters. Mm-hmm. It was like one of the future upcoming movies, and I don't remember anything about the trailer. I just remember the name. And that was all I remembered.
I think my only memory of this movie is that I kept when you brought it up and when I like thought about like, oh, I need to watch this movie. I kept on confusing it with that Riot in the Last Dragon movie that came out a few years after. I kept on confusing those. Mm-hmm. The only one I've seen is Kubo and the Two Strings.
He actually watched Riot on X.
He enjoyed it, actually.
Anyways, so big point of the film. It's in feudal Japan. Anyways, I my first impression after seeing like the whole ideas in feudal Japan and all that is how much is this gonna be just a retelling of like Miyazaki and all the older Japanese films, like a Hero's Journey and all that.
I would partially agree, partially disagree, because it is very based on that hero's journey stuff, but at the same time, I think you would be hard pressed to find me another animated movie that doesn't follow that same hero's journey. It's really the fact that it follows that kind of plot line so thoroughly is not that like. It doesn't make the movie any less than it is, just because it follows a structure that most animated movies do.
I'm just wondering because, like, I'll get into this later, but I felt like it would become predictable to a degree if it followed it too accurately. Mm-hmm. But opening scene, as mentioned, it's crashing waves. Oh, you gotta be able to destroy the waves with the stupid fake guitar. Shamisen. And then she
gets her head hit on the ground.
Yeah, moron doesn't look behind her. Gets destroyed by a wave and brain damage immediately.
All right.
Okay, like she hits the ocean floor and lifelong brain damage. Also, very confusing brain damage where you're only able to function at nighttime.
That's not really what it was. I think it was just that, like, she was very on and off, which happens in a lot of people that have, like people with different, like different types of dementia and stuff. It's not, like, I'm pretty sure that it's not a constant fog on their mind, but there will be periods of time where they can't remember anything and periods of time where they are much more active. And I think that can depend on things like circadian rhythm, who's there, what you're eating. Like, it depends on a lot of things like that. So her being pretty functional at specific times when Kubo typically takes care of her, when she's used to that, when her brain's used to that, isn't that crazy, I don't think.
I just felt like it was like oversimplified when it was like the second the sun goes down, she's immediately fully conscious. Mm-hmm. That's how it seemed every time we would see her for the 2 days she was alive.
Okay. All right.
We'll get into that. But it just seemed like her body is perfectly in sync with the sun. That just felt a bit.
I mean, she is the Moon King. What is his name? The Moon King. Yeah, she is the Moon King's daughter. So I feel like the symbolism. Gotta think about it.
Yeah, it's not.
Dementia doesn't have symbolism.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
You're saying you're like dementia riddled great grandparents.
Okay, but also at the same time, there is a actively a talking beetle and a monkey in this movie.
Okay, well,
so
it's a
some
beetle
things-
man. It's a beetle
There
man.
also
A
is-
beetle and a monkey woman.
There is also
Monkey
a
woman.
floating origami samurai.
Yeah. Anyways, brain damage into the ocean floor, and the first thing we see is Kubo in the little wrapped up thing. So I didn't know he was missing his left eye until this moment in the movie.
I mean, you
I'm
were supposed
saying,
to
like-
know. You didn't really know till then.
I'm saying
Are you saying
all
that
the trailers
are
I
you saying
saw-
that until you saw Kubo for the first time in the movie?
No,
You
no.
didn't know that he had only one eye.
Shut up. I'm
That's
saying.
exactly what you said.
I'm
Yeah.
saying like all the movie posters, everything, all the trailers I watched leading up to it, didn't really like drop it for me. And
Probably because he was emo. Did you like?
yeah,
did you not
I
see
get
those
that. That's my
scenes?
point. I like that. I like that they kind of kept it like.
Oh,
amazing
okay, I
disguise.
understand.
I like that. Like it wasn't like, here's his gaping wound at all times. It's constantly bleeding.
Oh,
I like that it was just like covered behind the bangs, and you only really knew when it actually became relevant to the movie. I like that.
Yeah.
And then anyone have any other comments yet up until this point?
no comments. Great movie.
At the point you're saying that we're at is just like still at the like. up
we're in
until
the village. We're in the
Okay,
village.
we're in the village now.
I mean, at this point I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. I like some of the characters. Grandma lady's kind of funny, a little bit.
She's a little annoying.
A little bit, yeah.
She's a little
But
annoying.
still, she had some funny lines. Yeah, I thought up until this point I didn't really have any problems.
Strumming the guitar. If you must blink, do it now. I don't like. Why did they make that the catchphrase of the movie?
It's so good. It is so good. Like, think about it.
If he has to blink, he should do it now.
Yeah, because think about it. He's making the story. Okay, he's narrating the story with floating origami creatures while he's strumming his little shamisen. Is that what it's called?
David Bowie.
Little,
It's shamisen.
Okay, yeah, he's strumming a little shamisen, and he's making the story, right? It's so good. He's bringing in the audience. Did you see how as soon as he strung his guitar, he strung his little shamisen, and he said,
Hold on.
"Okay,
Shamisen.
shamisen."
Here goes out to all the shamisen.
All the shamisen
All the
players.
no, not to the players, to the shamisens.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I'm not giving one for them.
Why are you hating on the shamisens?
I'm with Jerry on this.
Yeah. He's a hater. I don't hate the shamisens. But, so, hi Nathan.
Hi, Jerry.
So, we're in this scene, right? He's narrating, all the people are pulled in. There are creatures being cut up by Hanzo right now. And you see Hanzo, you see him, you see the whole village bonding because of this one instrument and this one storytelling. But as soon as he gets to that ending, what's it called? The bell rings.
Yeah.
The bell rings and he has to go home before sundown, right? So he takes care of his mother right in the morning. As soon as he gets up, he makes his rice.
Now when he's taking care of his mother.
Yes, he is. He's literally taking care of his mother.
When that's happening, I'm not saying that didn't happen. No.
Oh.
There's that like that where the mother's like pounding down the life lessons, the monkey doll or whatever. When I was watching that, I immediately, because the monkey was in all the trailers, everything. I was like 100% certain that it was going to be the white monkey. Was the monkey doll? I
mean,
called
yeah, that part was obvious, but I also thought part of the predictability that even though I think that it was a like movie that wasn't necessarily like all like I don't think it's bad that it followed a pretty classic structure.
Mm-hmm.
As you're probably gonna learn with my later ratings, my biggest problem with the movie is just that I felt like it was very. I felt like I predicted
Everything.
There was only one plot twist that I didn't predict. Every other plot twist I predicted within like the first 20 minutes of the movie.
To be honest, I didn't even know that there was supposed to be a plot twist.
I mean,
I just thought it
yeah.
was supposed to happen. Like, So-
which I think took some of the mystery out of the movie.
Yeah.
Definitely out. And the one plot twist I didn't see coming was the Beetle being the dad, because I thought that was
How?
I thought
didn't
that was
see
the.
that?
You want to know why?
Predictable part.
I thought that was too easy. I thought it was. I thought they were gonna actually try and make a good story about not just like these two parental figures are actually the parents. I thought I was going to like actually try and be smart
Okay.
and be like, he doesn't need his actual parents to have that feeling like. But no, they just took the easiest road possible.
The only plot twist that I didn't get was the bell in the town being the helmet. That's the only thing that I didn't
Yeah,
get.
I didn't know that either. Like I didn't know that was gonna be that. So that was
I
really
kind of
cool.
saw it when we were in the Emperor Dad, not the
castle?
castle. Yeah, the castle, when it was like it kept on showing all the helmets. and, like,
It was
oh,
pretty
really?
obvious
In the
that
middle?
it was pretty obvious that the bell was not going to be in the temple.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't know that it. I had no idea there was
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be the bell.
Anyways,
that was the only surprise.
Cut back from the bell. Cut back.
Taking care of his mother.
Taking care of his mother. Yes, he does
Yeah,
this.
so he's taking care. Guys, listen. He takes care of his mother in the morning. Did you see the bubbling rice? I thought the bubbling rice was really, really cool. You know when you're like, does that? The water's bubbling. I just thought the animation looked really cool. Okay, I love bubbling rice. Okay, but he pours in the rice. He makes rice. He puts down the 2 bowls, right? Does he put down chopsticks? Do you remember? Is that what he does?
I mean,
He has them in the bowl of the main rice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
because he has like kind of one for him to eat, but I don't think he. I think he just kind of has one. I don't super remember, but I don't think he gave his mom chopsticks because he already knew he was going to be feeding her.
Right. And then he puts down a little monkey doll. The monkey charm. He puts down the monkey charm, and then he feeds his mother, and then he goes right down, as the first bell rings, he goes down to the village. He does his little story. Sundown, he comes back.
No, not the second
No,
day.
not the
No,
second.
So,
Sunday, it wasn't, wait,
The
it's,
second- the
it's 2
second day
days
is
that we
that
see
he
the mom
goes
alive.
down,
Day 2.
and then learns about the graveyard.
sorry,
and the
yeah, I'm talking about day
lanterns,
1,
and
okay, and then day 2, that's what happened. The stupid old lady feeds him, thinking that, oh, you can go talk to your father downstairs. And then
Downstairs? You mean in the
you know
graveyard?
what I meant. It is down. You go down the stairs.
I think he meant down.
There's no stairs down.
I swear there are stairs. We're pulling up him going downstairs.
But yeah, that was like
Jamie, you don't need to pull that up.
There are
There
stairs.
are no stairs.
that graveyard scene was when I was like the first part where I was like, okay, the dad's still alive, because that's when I was like, okay, realistically, I think it's gonna be something where like the only reason that his dad isn't responding to his calls of the grave is because he's still alive, and then at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
it's gonna
Whoa.
like
I
die or
thought that
something. He's gonna return to like
Yo.
he's gonna get like a good passing
Wait.
to the next world, and he's gonna actually come back as a soul. And then when you meet the Beetle, that's when I was like, okay, this is the dad.
Yo, wait! That's why!
Dude,
One watch. One watch.
Listen.
And we got more for this than you did.
Hear me out. I did not know that. I thought he was just responding.
You thought
I
it was
knew
just
that.
like a deadbeat.
Yes, bro. No, Dad. Listen.
Hanzo the deadbeat.
Hanzo the dead beetle, bro. He's dead.
I didn't piece it together nearly as much as Nathan. I just saw he didn't respond. He's probably alive.
Yeah.
And like I just forgot about it afterwards.
Yeah,
After
I
that, he
completely
was
forgot
alive.
about it. And then he goes down. Dead beetle father does not talk to him. Right? He's still alive. My bad. But then what does he do? He crumples up.
He crumples up the
Throws
lid,
it away.
throws it, and then
Immediate nighttime.
Oh yeah. Do you see though in that scene the sun does go down and down and down. It becomes darker. The scene does become darker as it goes on.
Yeah, that's how the
Hey,
sun
are we-
works.
Listen, I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. And then he goes to pick it up, and then
Whoosh! Holy shit! I can't believe they made the stop motion animation movie with the sun. Have the sun go down.
they're just bullying me. I don't.
I'm
understand.
sorry, but when they're able to control every single aspect of the film and they know nighttime's gonna come exactly in this many frames, they're going to slowly darken it. That makes sense.
Do you want to see the stop motion
what-
that
what?
I made?
I don't think me or Jack are trying to say that this scene looked bad in any way.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
that
it's just
out of the many impressive things with animation that they did in this movie, this was not
The sun
the sun
existing.
going down
I thought
was
it was
not
crazy,
one of the
okay.
most impressive things. It still looked very good.
It did.
But like when
I didn't think about it.
When your animation
I
studio
was gonna start
combines
at it.
stop motion and regular animation in the way that they did for this movie, the things that are like a bit more typical just become way less impressive.
Okay, yeah. And then, whoosh, all the lights are gone. And then, wait, that scene was really creepy. You know when he goes, Kubo? You know when the sister's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait, and then, passing, then she just appears. I was low-key kind of spooked when she did that.
Now or when you were 9?
Both times. Loki forgot that would happen, but I got spooked. Deadass. I got spooked. She went, Kubo. And he goes, Kubo. And then she turns. That was film right there. That was peak. And then your aunt, what did you say? Your mom's sisters are here? Is that what she said?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she at first she says your mom's sisters, and then she says come to auntie, which I could not help but laugh.
Okay, no, I
But-
did too.
First
No,
the Indian
but you know
food.
how like it was just one sister, and then she says sister.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the two.
That was cool.
You thought that was peak? Oh my god.
I thought that was really cool.
Jamie, can you please pull up the picture of Martin Scorsese holding his hands up? Just search up Martin Scorsese.
Oh, yeah.
peak. That's what I keep on
Absolute
imagining every time you're saying this.
I'm just telling.
Show it to them.
Absolute
Can you
cinema.
can you edit?
Yes,
that?
that's what I'm
Can you
editing.
edit
Every
my
time I
face
do
onto
this,
that?
I'm gonna edit that over.
No, put my face on his
Well, yeah,
face.
whenever he says absolute cinema,
No,
just edit the
every
face on
time,
his face.
every time he does something like that, I've been doing this, and I'm gonna edit that over.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, I really like the masks. The masks on the sisters, that was cool. And then all of the attacking. He fucking. He fuck no, but he leads the sisters like directly into the village and has everyone. I thought they all died. Okay,
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I disagree. I guess that's the second plot twist. That I was catching.
Yeah,
The
I thought the
pictures
black stuff was just like skewering them clean through.
Yeah. Oh, my
Looking
God.
there was a bit more violence than I thought there would
Yeah,
be.
that was
like
cool.
I forget what exact part it was, but at one point somebody like actually got like
Skewered clean through.
They did? Like,
Yeah, with the black fog.
it was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
at the
because he
very
picked
least,
them up and then pushed them
yeah,
down.
like people were getting like maimed.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I guess I realized that it wasn't a Disney movie. It was like
yeah.
it was an animation.
It
movie.
was-
They
it
could,
was
they
a-
could do whatever they
It
wanted.
was just vegetables, according to the Guardian. Anyways, the creepy.
Mid newspaper right
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
Here
yeah.
goes out to all the Guardians out there.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
Oh, okay.
The creepy eye fetish from the Moon King, constantly wanting Kubo's eyes. I didn't get that until like the very end. How it was like he didn't want to see the human world and stuff.
I didn't get the symbolism of it, but like that helped me with when he had that dream and the blind man with the guitar was telling him to go to the place. I was like, okay, so this is the Moon King.
Yeah, I
Because
saw that. That was
yeah, because like his mom's the guitar comes from the Moon King's powers.
Yeah.
And the Moon King's probably blind because they said that they wanted Kubo to be more
Like that.
like him.
Mm-hmm.
For the first like half the film, I thought the eye stealing thing before they directly explained it was so the Moon King could have his eyes.
Yeah,
and
that's
use
also
them.
what I kind of thought it was.
In the
until,
last scene, that old man does have one of Kubo's eyes.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I think that's cool.
Wait, are you being sarcastic or did you not know that?
I didn't really pay. Okay.
Okay.
So for reference, I was watching this 1.5 times speed up until like 2 minutes before they got here.
Disappointing.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not a fucking nerd.
Yo! This is disrespect.
And that also may have thrown off my music score too, because it just kept on being like super fast.
I think we need to like discount his polished
Yeah, I think
score.
we do need
Okay,
to.
my polished score doesn't really change much.
I guess.
Actually, my polished score is good, Jerry. You don't want to discount that.
Okay, we're keeping in the polished score.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, creepy eye fetish. Mom, 2v1, gets completely fucked up, and then uses her magic ability on the beetle boy. He flies off.
I thought that scene was pretty endearing.
I thought it was really
That was good. That was good.
It's always tough, like in movies when they have like the parent protecting the child, but it's like the child is kind of just like as they're being saved, watching their parent
watches it
die. That's never fun to watch, but it's always emotional.
Best part of the film, in my opinion.
What?
Very fun to watch.
This counts as review.
Anyways, big thing about that was, what did I have written? Get sent over with Monkey to the far lands. And the monkey keeps on explaining magic like it's a limited commodity. She used the last of her magic like it's like a resource pool.
It makes sense.
It kind of makes sense. Like she died.
It's like
so she did deplete all her magic.
And I feel like
And
magic. I feel like magic in most cases is sort of like just another form of energy, where it's like human body energy. Like we have a lot of energy, and then like as we go throughout the day, it like slowly kind of runs out, and we sleep, and we get more energy. I don't know if that's necessarily how magic works, but usually
Jamie's eyeing me very weirdly.
usually most like sources of magic are not infinite.
Jujutsu Infinite.
Bro,
None of us have watched that enough.
I mean,
Not that.
Enough.
I'm not gonna justify any of this. Nonsense.
This is to you Jujutsu Kaisen fans. You guys.
This is to the fans. This is to the show.
Oh yeah.
This is to the fans of our show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is to
This is to Jam.
Anyways, I just felt like that. I'm maybe like very nitpicky about that. I didn't like the.
You're being very
Yeah, I
nitpicky
know.
right now.
But that's just what I wrote down in the moment. It was just that like, grammatically, I didn't like the last of her magic instead of the last years.
You're
of her
blaming
magic.
the monkey's grammar
It's a monkey.
when it is a completely fine and understandable sentence
I don't like it.
for anybody else.
Anyways, I'm not gonna die on that hill. I'm just saying that's what I wrote down. What's on the notes? Anyways, what else do you guys have about the Farlands? Because my next note is about the giant skeleton.
There's so much that happens in the Farlands. They go on. I thought the scene where where Kubo's like exercising his magic is really cool. Like I think we did see a glimpse of him using his magic in the town, and making the origami creatures do come to life. But as that scene progresses, it gets more and more. First he makes one bird, then he starts playing a little bit louder. All the paper comes out, becomes a bunch of birds. He starts annoying Monkey, and then what part? They come to a certain part in the Farlands.
It's a Buddha statue.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, giant like empty Buddha statue.
They come there. Monkey looks behind. Kubo's gone.
Yeah.
And then she just hears a Kubo call out Monkey, and then listen. And then they go, and then this. Okay, I thought this was really, really weird. Okay, you know, like the startling sound of the beetle. Oh, that gave me that was weird.
You're like a child.
I was fine with
scared
that
by the
scene
sisters.
because I was fine with that scene because I knew it was a beetle and not going to be a spider. But if that was a massive spider, I would have been shook.
This guy hates
Yeah.
spiders.
No,
I don't like
You're scared of spiders.
I don't like spiders.
spiders are weird.
Here goes out to all.
Except for Spider-Man.
Here goes out. This one goes out to
Spider-Man.
Uncle Ben.
Oh, he's kind of dead.
Here goes out to Uncle Ben.
That's a reference to episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Oh my god, that was good. That was good. No.
I edited that last night.
That's fine.
Anyways, any other notes before Giant Skeleton?
No, but I thought that the character of Han, they don't give him a name. They just call him Beetle, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. They call him Beetle, and then the scene where he's just like, we're like, oh, my skills are gonna be indispensable towards your thing, and then he just shoots one arrow, shoots like 5 more so fast, and then the line that he says after, I thought that was
That was the first time.
There's something about
he's like, oh, I've never done that before. I thought that was really good. And okay, no,
I was thinking of a different line.
what line were you thinking?
I was thinking right after that. He's like something about
No, like
how like further on the journey he'll show all of his further
Right.
indispensabilities.
Well,
I
he
thought
says. Well, actually, Jerry is correct. Right after he fires all them, then he says that. Then after that, he says that.
I thought that was he said it really
He
softly,
whispered it. I like
but
that.
it's really
Yeah.
good.
It was
And then I thought that what's his name? He's a dude from Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey is the one that voice acted.
Oh my god, I really like Matthew McConaughey. I think he gives one of the best speeches. His Oscar speech. Wait, no, it was the Academy speech, was it?
That's
Oscar
the
or
same thing. The Academy Awards.
My bad, guys.
The Academy Awards are the Oscars.
Don't kill me, but I thought they were two different things. I've only watched the Oscars once.
Which one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, which one did I watch? I don't know, but I will I'll tell Jack, and then he can edit it in. But I thought that he gives such great speeches. When he won, I think it was the one for Interstellar, right? When he won for
Was that-
yeah.
No, I think it was
That'd be
the one,
the
it was the one that
87,
he
if it was
won, right?
24.
Yeah.
If it was the one that he won, it was Dallas Buyers Club. He didn't win anything for. I don't think he won anything for Interstellar. He won Best Actor for Dallas Buyers Club.
Okay, then
What year
that's
was that?
13, I think.
That would be the 86.
So it was like the year.
86 is 2014.
Oh,
So wouldn't that,
they do it
for the
weird.
20?
I
Did
don't
the movie
know.
come out 2013 or did the movie?
The movie
come
came out in
2014?
like I think it was 2013. It wasn't 2014 because 2014 was Interstellar.
Huh.
But it was not the same one as. But I know he won for
Great
Dallas
actors.
Buyers Club.
Oh, yeah, but that
Yeah,
speech,
2013.
I think that it was the 86 Oscars in 2014. I think that's one of the greatest
Because
speeches.
they do the Oscars for it's like with the Oscars, Grammys, all that stuff. It's the 2014
Yeah.
movies.
I know how it works.
Okay, you were confused.
I do not know how it works, so that was helpful.
Anyways, let's keep it chugging along because
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
have very little
Can
time.
Can I just add one more thing onto what Jerry was about to say? I do think that Matthew McConaughey is a very good voice actor. I think that.
What was that? That cadence. I do think that Matthew McConaughey is a very good voice
Can you-
actor.
He's a musical guy.
I do think that he is a good voice actor. I think the lines that they wrote for him
Could have been better.
could have been much better.
I
Some of the
agree.
lines that they wrote for him were very clever, and
We'll
he
get
did
to
them
that.
well. But he did the most he could with the lines. But they
That he
weren't.
was given, yeah.
Yes.
He did the most that he would.
We'll get to that.
Can you relax?
I'm sorry, but Jerry has 27.
No, it's okay. We're good. But what happens after? Oh,
John
you were talking about.
Giant skeleton, the world's biggest puppet ever.
Wasn't a puppet.
Stop motion animation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, was that part? Because I know that it was like
it was
some
the whole thing was one thing.
Yeah.
the
it-
whole
yeah,
wow,
it
the
was
whole
like-
thing skeleton was a
Yeah.
stop motion.
If you watch the credits, you'll see one point where it shows them moving it around. Jamie,
That's
pull that
cool.
up.
Because I knew that
Just a giant skeleton, green screen, Kubo and the two strings. But it was just one giant puppet, so they could.
That's cool.
Because they thought that if on the wiki it said they thought that if they segmented it up into bits and pieces, it wouldn't work as well. So they just made the whole thing in one go.
Okay.
They
I
bought
was-
a machine on eBay to help build it, supposedly.
Oh.
Because I was wondering whether a lot of the scenes in the movie are stop motion characters.
Wow. Whoa.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Dude, that's actually really cool.
We'll edit it in for the
Mhm.
viewers. But I didn't know. I assumed that the skeleton was something that they animated and then had the stop motion characters interact because most of the movie is stop motion characters on a standard animation background. So I thought
Nope,
the
it
skeleton
was
was part
practical.
of the animation. That's
Um,
pretty cool.
That added to my polish score a little, for sure. Really liked that. That was probably one of my second favorite fight scene, other than the very ending one, was against the
Okay.
against the giant. Okay. Any other comments on that before we get to the boat?
No, I thought that it was really cool. I liked that the first sword that they got wasn't the actual.
That
I'm so thankful.
that was a great touch. Made the fight interesting.
It did. If it was just the
The
first
fight
sword,
could have been so boring if they just got the sword and.
yeah, immediately,
Immediately.
and then they would have just killed it immediately.
I thought
like-
it was going to be really funny. I thought the sword Unbreakable
Was gonna
I thought that was the
The
sword
sword
and it
break.
immediately broke, and I thought it was going to start on the progression of like sometimes in stories of like the hero's journey, it'll be like, oh, we need to collect all of these things, and then when they go to collect those things, it's like, yeah, these things are pretty useless and pretty fake, and it like turns out it's like, oh, the hero's like the spirit and their journey that's what made them able to beat the bad guy. So I kind of thought that that's where they were going, but then when they said that it wasn't the sword break, I was like, okay.
I like pulling all the swords from the giant skull. That was really cool to me.
I also like that as soon as they pulled out like the sword unbreakable, it just
Wait, because like the sword's magic was what was keeping it. That's what I'm guessing. The sword's magic was what was keeping the thing alive.
And I know the reason why for this is because Monkey and Beetle are, husband and wife actually. But I don't like that they would act like a divorce, like before. It really made it.
The argument when they sent Kubo away.
It really it was like annoying almost. Where it was like a verge of divorcing couple just arguing.
Kubo, go away. The parents are speaking.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Just because that's like spelling it out like. They were married. These are the characters. I don't like that.
Yeah. I thought that for a good portion of Beetle and Monkey's interactions, I thought that, like, at their best, it was some of my favorite parts of the whole movie, their interactions. At its worst, I don't think I was annoyed as much as maybe you guys were, but it wasn't like, I never thought that their interactions were bad. It's just that sometimes they made the movie for me, and sometimes they just kind of kept the movie going.
I just felt like they just kept on pounding down on it. I did like the interactions with after the boat scene.
Okay, yeah.
Those were really good. That was one of the better moments in the film. But up until this point, where it's just like argue.
I thought some of the argument was hilarious, but then it became like a divorced couple.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, when they were just regular arguing, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Before, when they're on the boat, they do the demonstration, learning the skills. Wish they had more of that, where they train Kubo with time.
Yeah.
But that's whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't like the meat eating. They did that one they
throw it out there and she cuts it.
That's cool.
Uh-huh.
But I don't like when you just the giant cheeks and stuffing meat into their mouths.
Oh,
they were hungry.
Yeah, but
Brother ate whale soup the other day, and he finally caught some fresh fish.
Whale soup.
I don't like that they had his cheek packed full of meat.
And I thought that was like one of the main jokes of that it was
cool.
supposed to be disgusting because the viewers kind of supposed to act like understand why they're being so kind of disgusting with it, but also be like the monkey of.
But they didn't need to make realistic dribble falling out of his mouth.
I guess, but also you have to understand that Kubo was eating rice.
Yeah,
rice and whale soup before that.
Yeah.
For his entire life. Now it's the fight scene with Monkey and saving Kubo from the eye garden.
That was awesome.
I really like that. Originally, the beetle went for the fish he skewered.
Oh shoot! I didn't catch that. That when he came back up with the fish, I thought he was just being stupid. But I didn't realize that he thought that she told him to get the fish.
I thought he was being stupid as well.
Yeah, but he was going to get the fish that they shot earlier and killed. Instead of going to get the armor.
That's one of the things I do like about the film. They never have something come out of nowhere. It's always at least been shown or demonstrated a little.
Right.
And sometimes that's dragging and a bit excessive. But in things like that, it's good because it's
wow, I did not notice that.
And also, with that, something that's really good about this movie is that a lot of times you find with children's movies that work really well. The conception about children's movies is that you have to over-explain everything for children to get it. But then when you get a children's movie that works really well, to entertain children, it's when you don't explain everything, and you kind of just let things happen and let children figure it out on their own or make it make sense in their own mind. That's when it works, and I think that Kubo does that aspect of it very great. There's never a point where they over-explain something.
The eye garden, I really like that design.
Oh yeah,
that's the big ass.
I was not expecting them to be like when I first saw it. I didn't expect them to be like plants.
Yeah,
I expected them to be way smaller and more of them.
Yeah,
I didn't think they were going to be
eyes.
massive eyes that were just a couple of them.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's still cool.
Anyways, everything leading up to this point in pacing, from like the 2 nights with mom till then, that felt off. I didn't like how that whole part of the journey of collecting 2 pieces of armor was in one day.
Was it actually in one day?
Yeah. They never slept
yeah.
between.
Okay.
Between whale soup.
They're
after that
also
sleeping.
running the whole time.
I
So
get
the whole
it.
story takes place in like 4 days because they're constantly on the.
I just didn't like how that's all like. The reason why this was resolved a little to me by the end is like after the boat, there was like the montage, so to speak, of like traveling. I like that because that actually felt like there was some time change. I understand they're running from the sisters and all that, and it needs to be quick. But I felt like when collecting 2 pieces of armor is one day, that just made it insignificant and like too immediate.
But you got to think about it. The thing that why it had to be so fast was the night. They weren't allowed to be during the night because that's the only time when the sisters and the Moon King.
Well, they couldn't. They have just hidden caves like they did in the past with the mom.
But they were on the sea though, like.
I'm saying, but before that, like I'm saying,
right.
between whale soup and getting on the boat, they could have had a little bit more length. I feel like.
Okay.
In building up to that.
Yeah, they could have.
It just was like one day, bam, whole thing. I didn't like that.
Right, and
I
as
guess.
you said, they
But
could
also, if they wanted to make it like I think they could have make it felt like more time had passed, but to make the story make sense, they couldn't have actually made it last.
At the very least, felt like more time.
Yeah, but if they made it long, if they
Like
made
how they have-
chronologically it longer than it already was, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, of course. I'm just saying, like something like another montage, like they had between the end of the boat and getting to the next piece of armor.
Yeah, they
I
could
guess,
have.
yeah.
I think instead of. I think I liked how they made it a bow, and they were talking about how the beetle was really good at archery, right? And then they added the rope. I thought that was really cute.
That was
right?
a good scene.
But I think that because they had the sword unbreakable, right? But I feel like they should have focused on Kubo being able to use the sword.
Yeah,
I
they
feel like
did build up his
Yeah.
skill set much.
and you could tell because when he was fighting the Moon King at the end, he really didn't know
barely used
what
it,
to
yeah.
do. Like I think he spliced through the underbelly once.
He got some cuts in. He got some serious cuts in.
I feel like
but
they
I think it was all building up to realize that
he didn't have enough training with it, and he had to use his true abilities.
Yeah.
like I think it was all building up towards his strength with the shamisen.
Yeah.
That being his true calling, being his true strength.
Okay.
Because that was the only, like the pieces of armor and the sword and stuff. Like it was strong. It was strong things that could defeat the Moon Lord. But it was the connection to his family through the shamisen that made it, that truly was able to defeat the Moon King.
That's true. Okay, so what were we talking about?
I could go on.
Okay, yeah.
So boat all over Wash Ashore. Then I really liked, as mentioned, the montage, adding a little bit of time until they get to the cave and all that, and the final piece of the bell. And I wrote a note right then. Still confused if Monkey is mother. When it was cutting to, no, just listen. When it was like cutting to the cave, I was like, I just wrote, still confused if Monkey is mother. Then after that scene, I was like, never mind.
Never mind.
I wrote right there.
Oh, still confused if Monkey is mother.
Never mind.
Because
like when during the fight scene on the boat, when she was like, "It made me stronger." That's when I was like, okay, I pretty much like.
We figured it out at the start.
Yeah, like I was pretty after the monkey, after the actual monkey was introduced. I was like, I'm pretty sure that this is the mother. And then as time went on, I was like, I don't know if this is the mother anymore. And then she said that it made her stronger. I was like, okay, this is the mother.
Yeah.
I that just threw me for a loop a little. Just had to write that down.
Monkey?
Never mind.
Monkey is so badass. Monkey is so badass. That first scene where she just grabs a sword and goes, and at the end, she goes, "That made me strong." That was so cool.
She had a badass voice actor too.
Yeah, wasn't it Charlize Theron?
Yeah. The Mad Max Fury Road lady, I think.
Oh, I think she's gonna be in the Odyssey, isn't she? Or no? Like the new
Yeah.
Let me check.
Let's keep checking along. We
Yeah,
have
yeah,
4
keep
minutes.
going.
We have 4 minutes, guys. I
You can
have
keep
5
going.
more notes.
Right.
Okay. 5 more notes.
So, We're at the castle.
I'm not there yet. They sleep in the cave for the night. The dream with the Moon King. I was certain by then it was the Moon King. Very obvious.
Yeah.
Anyways.
When he put Hanzo in his pocket, I was like, okay, that's gonna mess him up because Hanzo's not gonna. The Hanzo like little thing is not gonna be pointing, not gonna be telling them to go to the castle because he knows. Like when he put him in the pocket, I was like, okay, they're not going to the right place.
That's such a. I didn't notice that. That was cool.
Anyways, and then the mother said something about I just wrote this down because it's funny. You can only be in the family if you're cold and hard.
Dude, I was cracking up. Look,
I was trying not to.
Oh, I was. She said cold and hard.
But you had to hold up your standard in front of yourself.
Yes.
Not me though.
But yeah, and then ending fighting scene.
Are we skipping the castle?
Well, what do you have to say about the castle?
I thought it was a great fight scene.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Rest in peace, Beetle and Monkey.
They killed Beetle way too fast. I feel like there should have been.
I like that they died. I would have hated it if they just survived the
No,
impact.
I thought the dying was correct, but I feel like, as soon as they stab Beetle, right? I feel like he should turn over just one line. I feel like he should have had a line.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I can agree to that. That he should have maybe lasted a tiny bit longer after he got stabbed.
Yeah, just one line. I think that would have I feel like that would have given a little bit more.
You just
they each do a little bit of damage.
I just wanted to hear Matthew McConaughey. I really like Matthew McConaughey. So.
Or at least they do a little bit of damage each too.
Yeah.
Anyways, in the corny ending, it's the power of friendship. Ding! And then
it's not even really. It's not even really the power of friendship.
The power of memories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is still a very
Different.
The whole thing is kind of building up to like the mother in the beginning. She doesn't really have her memories because she's demented. The Beetle doesn't really have his memories. Like there's a whole big thing about memories and what they give to you, and that people live on through memories, and that the memories of your family
it's really mentioned a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's
a pretty well built up thing.
I'm not saying it's not well built up. I'm just saying
you don't like it.
I just don't like contrived endings to any degree.
Okay.
And that just was like the power of XYZ mysterious.
Contrived
force.
isn't like forced into that concept of that, or
Or you're just saying you don't like the concept in general?
I don't like whenever something's like, this directly causes this.
Oh, okay. But I feel like that's really
I'm still
not that emphasized.
I still don't know what you
I'm
mean
just
by
trying to say, my whole point is I didn't like that the solution was memories.
Okay.
And it had a moral to it of memories are important. I didn't like that. Anyways, chugging through.
Okay.
That was basically it.
Yeah.
Grandpa, you're the greatest man ever. You taught my daughter to swim.
I thought that part was funny.
It was good.
I thought it was funny. All the villagers just locked in.
Dude,
Wow, I guess I am a great person.
Wow, I guess I am such a selfless person. Bro, they gaslit him.
Oh, no.
This dude has no memories. Everyone's just gaslighting this dude. I like to give kids coins on the streets.
Another thing, with the whole memories thing, because they gave him the memories that he was a good man, he would then become a good man. If they had told him hey, you killed tons of people, he would have probably not been a very good person after that.
I think it was fine.
That's so cool.
I just think it was funny when it was like, they just swim. Yeah, they just made up the most random shit to example how good of a person he was. Okay, that was the ending. But here were some real world notes I had. It was criticized for whitewashing because only 2 of the minor characters had any Japanese descent. George Takei and
George Takei?
He was a minor character, yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool. He was a Star Trek.
Okay. Yeah.
And then one other guy was of Japanese descent. It should be on the Wikipedia.
I mean, I don't think it's that huge of an issue, just because it's an American studio, an American movie, a very American story. The only thing that was Japanese about it was that it took place in Japan.
Yeah.
That was if it had been
a lot of a lot of Japanese concepts were used as well. But I feel like that was it.
I don't think that if Like I think if a Japanese movie company wanted to make a movie
Like that.
in America, but like be a Japanese story that takes place in America, I wouldn't really expect them to use white voice actor or
Japanese voice actors.
Can we cut that? The white
No!
part. Can we please cut the white part.
No!
American voice actors. Because that's just like, I don't know, it's their choice.
Right.
It's their movie.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not
I
saying
don't
it's a
think it's
problem.
that racist.
I'm just saying that was a real word.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
saying
I'm
okay,
not. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm disagreeing with the people that said that it was.
Yeah,
bullshit.
exactly. Yeah.
'Cause I
Anyways,
don't-
it was also nominated in the 89th Oscars for Best Visual Effects and Best Animated Feature.
Best visual effects. Oh wow!
It lost both to Disney. I think they lost visual
What did it
for.
lose to?
They lost visual against the Jungle Book, the live action one, and then they
okay.
lost
Great
animated
movie.
feature to Zootopia.
Also, I think.
okay.
I think
Yeah.
both of those are kind of.
It's just
Zootopia
funny
was
they got
amazing. I really like Zootopia.
Double killed.
I don't think. I think Zootopia is a better movie than Kubo, even if it's not incredible.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think both of those are.
I really like
deserved
Zootopia, so
over
that's okay.
Kubo.
Yeah.
Anyways,
The blueberry scene is still stuck in. I still think about it.
Oh,
Like you know when he not the lamb.
Big
shoots
fan.
it, and then it's a blueberry at the end. I thought okay, that was a good scene.
that's a different movie.
Stop
Shut
it.
up. You're the one who has the time constraint. Anyways, into our format, the final score. You know how it goes. It's 5 ranks: story / plot, acting, cinematography, polish, overall effect.
in this case, the acting is more just characters and voice acting.
Yeah.
Cinematography is more animation.
I'm saying acting is most of all voice acting.
Right.
I'm saying
'Cause it's the real world stuff.
for me, my acting is mostly characters because I feel like
I feel like
plot.
I feel because that's the writing.
I think that
Mine's like character actions and voice acting.
Here's my mental breakdown. Story / plot is the real world, what they wrote onto the script. Here's what the script is. Here's what it's all about. Acting is how the actors or voice actors
yes,
translate it skill wise. Cinematography is all the camera work, and then polish is all of the editing and all of the music, and then overall effect is just how it impacts the world, how I feel about it.
okay.
Anyways, story
Jeremy,
/ plot.
Okay, story
Do you wanna
/
start?
plot. I'll start. Okay, as much as I love this movie, I'm not going to give any rating that I would not like any other movie. I'm gonna rate it the same, right? Okay, I'm gonna give story / plot an 83. I think that I know that's still high. I really like this movie, but I just feel like even if the story is predictable, I think that the way that they develop characters, that where there's so much symbolism, everything combined, I just feel like I really like the story, so I'm just gonna give it an 83. Can't go any higher than that.
Nathan.
For me, so for the story, I rated it 73. For me, this is the weakest aspect of the movie, mostly because I don't combine the story. I don't put the characters into my story rating because I think in live action movies, it's mostly the actors and not the writers that decide the quality of a character. Because I think great actors, if they don't like the writing of their character, will disregard it, go against it, and make their own character. And so I think it's unfair for an animated movie, even if that's less the case, to put characters into the story
Okay, I
aspect.
understand.
And so, for the predictability, it was a good story, just way too predictable. Gave it a 73.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna bring my score down.
Okay.
After hearing that, like talking about how like characters, just like the separation between animated and like real actors, I'm gonna bump my score down 5. I'm going down to a 78.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, again, harshest critique from me as well. Because I value story and plot on the writing, like purely on a writing aspect. I gave it a 67.
Okay.
Just because I feel like it was just all right. It wasn't mediocre, but it was just above that.
Okay.
Because I predicted every single story beat
Mm-hmm.
To such a degree, except like the most minor things that didn't really change
Like
anything.
the bell being the helmet, or
It's like the fish. Like how you guys
Oh.
didn't predict the fish being from the skewer. It was like tiny things like that.
Okay.
But I did like how like they always brought things back.
Hmm.
But it was too weak for me. Same reasons as
That's fair.
Nathan. Too predictable.
Mhm.
It didn't tell a new story. To get in that 80s range, you gotta tell something that's been told very few times. It's been told a lot. The family dying, all that. Now for acting, I'm much more voice acting. I gave it a 72. Not to say it was bad by any means. It was just it didn't stick out. It was there. And that's it. It was fine. Solid voice actors, solid everything. But I had no complaints, no pride.
for the acting, I gave it an 82. This is I think this is one of the highest categories for me because I thought one of the best parts of the movie was the interactions between all the characters. The voice acting, I don't think it was nothing crazy for me. Voice acting, I'm not the best at like analyzing voice acting, but there was nothing bad in it. I didn't see any problems with it, but the characters were all very good.
Yeah.
And so I think an 82 is fair.
Okay, so for this category, I'm giving it an 83. It's the same thing that I had before. Voice acting, there was nothing very, what's it called? It didn't stand out, but I did really, really like the voice acting of Matthew McConaughey. You have to understand, I really like him. I thought that he did a really, really good job with the lines that they had. Like, all the characters had such basic lines, right? But I feel like the way that they did present them, I feel like it did bring the whole movie up much more. I feel like that the lines that they used for like the Moon King and the sisters, I feel like they were more like harsh, and I feel like their whole tone was different.
That was definitely the highlight of the voice acting, but I feel like that kind of is due to the polish.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe,
okay. Yeah, but I feel like both of the judges just combined to me, and it gave me my score.
Cinematography?
Really good. I really like the colors. I like the color grading. I like that one scene in which, like, you know how they're traveling to the helmet scene?
Yeah.
I feel like the different colors that they use the bamboo thing, and then
Definitely
they use the golden herons. They were talking about that. The snow, the red, like the leaves. I feel like all the whole thing, all the colors that they used, everything was so good. Giving it an 87.
For cinematography, I'm giving it an 82. I thought that along with the acting, this is the best part of the movie. Leica Studios is a pioneer in the stop motion animation field, and this just pushed their boundaries even further. I don't think I had any problems with their animations, and it was very beautiful throughout the entire movie. So, I think, yeah.
For cinematography, I gave it an 88 because, as stated, I thought it was one of the best aspects. Getting the camera in such small spots, matching it up so well with the stop motion animation, because that's part of the cinematography, is moving them frame by frame.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. Now for the polish. Polish, again, pretty solid. It's all the editing. I kind of threw the stop motion stuff into this as well. 81, as I just stated, for all the reasons.
I gave polish a 79. I thought that the only part of the polish that really stood out to me was the score. I guess I should have thought about the visual effects aspect of it more. But even with that, I think that a 79 is pretty fair.
Polish, I'm just giving, literally had the average of both of you two. I gave it an 80.
That's an 80 overall.
So I just thought everything was good. The movie, everything was great. Like the way that they edited it, I thought that there wasn't any like redundant scenes that they added. I felt like it was just great. So I just gave it an 80.
Overall effect, how it made you feel, and how it changed the world.
I don't think it changed the world at all. I feel like someone watched it, I don't think their life got changed.
$60 million made. $60
I
million
think it changed
budget.
your world, Jerry.
Oh yeah, it changed. Okay, Matthew McConaughey. I love you. Okay.
$60 million budget on a $77.5 million
Revenue?
Box office, yeah.
box office. Yeah. So like he just said, didn't change the world.
It didn't change it. So I'm just gonna
But
give it
also,
a 7.
box office numbers have no indication
Yeah.
whether something changed.
That's true. I feel like I just haven't heard too much about the movie after the movie came out, right? Yeah, as much as I love the movie, I've never heard someone else have such strong feelings about the movie.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give it a 70. I feel like it just didn't change much.
For me, overall effect, even though I don't think the movie itself changed much, the studio, like a studio that makes it, is kind of in a strange situation where every movie they put out is pushing boundaries, but because every movie they're putting out is doing that, it makes it seem like they're not. It makes it seem like Coraline or some of their older stuff are the only ones that are really changing the way the animation is done.
Right.
It's every single movie is having a pretty profound effect on stop motion.
Mhm.
It's just that they don't really stand out.
Right.
And so for overall effect, I gave it 77 out of 100.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, overall effect, I gave a 68. Very similar reasons as Jerry. I felt good about it.
Yeah.
Not nearly as good as Jerry, but it just didn't change the world. It didn't have any impact outside of its own existence. The Wikipedia page for the all the stuff after it came out, it's literally just like copy and paste review.
Right.
Nothing beyond that. They released the Blu-ray. They released one within the year, but then they released only 2 other times.
Wow. Okay.
And it was the other versions of it. And it was within the last 2 years.
Oh wow.
So that it really doesn't have much of an impact or lasting legacy.
Right.
And so, yeah, 68. So, I'm gonna have to say for my next movie. So, I'm gonna have to go with. I'm thinking a new format we kind of go for is one movie in every 3 movie rotation, one animated, one classic, and then one brand new.
Ooh. Okay.
So, I'll go. I haven't told any of this. I just came up with this right now. I'm gonna go with Conclave. It's one of the leading
that one.
Oscar nominations. Nominated.
It's like a church
Pope
it's,
movie.
Yeah.
Pope's about to die. We are filming this February 22nd. Pope is yet to die.
Oh.
Pope Francis.
Jeez, okay.
But he has a chance of dying. So I'm calling it here February 22nd, 5:15 p.m.
Oh.
I predict the Pope will die. It's going to happen. Anyways, we're gonna watch Conclave for the next one.
That's such a weird thing to predict. I predict
Isn't he
that
sick right now?
I predict that all 4 people in this room will die.
No, the reason why I predict
It
he's
will
dying.
happen.
You wanna know why? Because he's coughing out lungs.
I know that he's definitely sick.
Yeah.
But predicting that somebody's gonna die is not
You
crazy.
have to at least give us a date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna predict.
I'm calling Tuesday.
In 3 days, you think this dude is
He's
just not?
actively dying. You're saying he's gonna make it that long?
Hey, poor
Time
Pope.
magazine, 4 hours ago. Vatican says Pope Francis is in critical condition.
Yeah.
He is a bad luck charm.
That was 4 hours ago.
Pope,
Hey.
I hope you're in great health.
Hey, Pope.
This one's out to
This
you.
one goes out to you,
Francis.
Francis.
This one's out to you, Argentina.
Argentina.
That's where he came from.
Oh,
This one goes out to you, Francis.
Francis.
That's not his actual name, you know that?
Yeah, I know.
It's
Okay.
not?
No, the church. The
Pope and
the
Dame
popes
Jamie.
changed their name. The popes.
When they become Pope.
Yeah, when
Oh.
they can name. They
What's
can
his
choose
name,
their
Jamie?
name.
That's really cool.
What's
So
the
I
actual
can become
name of
like,
Pope?
You can
You
technically
can become Pope shitface if you want.
Yeah.
You literally could do that.
because
Are you
technically
saying that because I'm brown?
No, you get.
Pope
Jorge
Smelly.
Mario Bergoglio.
His name is Jorge?
Yeah,
Hold
'cause
on.
he's from South America. What do you
His name is Jorge? Dude,
Yeah,
that's so fire.
Technically, you can make it any name you want. It's just that
But-
traditionally they do it after former Pope names.
But they haven't
okay.
done a new name in like a couple centuries.
Yeah, that's because typically they.
Bergoglio, Jorge, Mario, Bergoglio. So,
He's about to die, that man.
Jorge?
I'm sorry, I'm calling it. I just have to let you know that I'm calling it before it happens. Because this will be like coming out in probably after the Oscars are out. And that's all for this episode. We're doing Conclave next, as just mentioned. We'll see you on the next one, Couch Critics.
Yeah.